Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live for my regular Wednesday morning Facebook and YouTube live. So you can find me on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And each week I kind of have a different theme. First Wednesday of the month is always my card class to go. Second Wednesday of the month is usually just a featured stamp set or bundle or something and a single card. And then the last 2 weeks of the month are always my one layout, 3 cards, and then some kind of special, maybe a paper pumpkin, maybe an extra card class. Just kind of depends on what's happening each month and how busy my personal schedule is as well. So today is our one layout, 3 cards video. I'm super excited about this one. It's a really, really simple sketch, which is great because it allows for quick cards and lots of variety in what you can do with it. Oh, good morning, Tanya from Langley. Oh, awesome. You're my neighbor. Very cool. All right, so I'm going to just switch over to my desktop and get started. For anybody who's new to Stampin' Up! Or just new to my videos, what I did almost a year ago now, back in May of last year, I think, in May or April, May, I took all of the card templates that Stampin' Up! Showed in their catalog. So on page 22 of the annual catalog, they had all these itty bitty little card templates. I took them, I recreated them, made them bigger, and put them onto a printable. You can actually find this printable on my blog. And then each month I do 1 episode a month where I take one of these sketches and I create 3 completely different cards using the same sketch. So this month we are featuring this one right up here in the top. It's just a banner with a ribbon on a background. So the possibilities are endless there because we're not restricted to needing particular DSPs or particular anything. And a banner is really easy to make all on your own if you don't have banner dies. So it's a great sketch. All right, I'm going to move that out of the way. Our first card today, and I do normally try to have these like made so I can show you a sample. I have 2 of them made. This one I don't have made. This one's still in my head, but it looks awesome. So I can't wait to show it to you. Our first card for today is the One More Year. I've been designing with this for my team meetings. Next month's team meeting is featuring this guy. So I've been playing with him a lot. So I just had to use him one more time. Well, I'm sure I'm going to use them a lot more times, but one more time this week. So this is the One More Year. So what I did is I started with a color I don't use very often. I grabbed Lemon Lime Twist, and I also grabbed it in an orientation I don't use often, which is this top fold. I don't do that very often. All right. And then I took a banner. So all my cards are actually using the largest banner die from our Nested Essentials. You'll have to excuse the state of my dies. I normally put them onto magnets, and I just haven't gotten around to it. My local dollar store closed, and I can't find another one that has the magnet sheets for such a good price. So I'm on the hunt. But basically what we have in here is some long hexagons, some banners, and some rounded rectangles. So I've taken the largest banner, and I've used this one on all of my cards. That's the Nested Essentials. You can always create a banner just by using a pencil to put a dot halfway on your card and then cutting up corner to corner, and voila, you've got a banner. I just like this one because it's got the awesome stitching all the way around it. So I cut this banner out of one of my favorite papers. It is the Pastel Ombre Glimmer Specialty Paper, and you can see why, because it's got, I think they meant it to be Coastal Cabana, but to me it looks so much like Bermuda Bay that I miss so much. And then it's got the Lemon Lime Twist in there and some fresh freesia and some lovely purples and oranges, and it's just fantastic paper. And this fades all the way down into more of like a balmy blue kind of look. So I've just taken a piece of that and die cut a banner, and we're going to get started now. I'm going to stamp, and I don't do this often, but I am going to stamp right onto my card front for this card. And I'm going to use the happy birthday sentiment from One More Year. Now, you will notice, though, that on the stamp set, it says happy birthday, now back to me. I thought that was kind of a weird saying. So I went in, I didn't get rid of it, but I took my rubber scissors and I literally cut the now back to me off of the happy birthday. And now I don't even have to worry about inking around it or masking it or anything. I've just got a gorgeous happy birthday. I love the font of this happy birthday. I've got a gorgeous happy birthday to use without that weird little extra sentiment. And if I ever really wanted it, all I have to do is take this, line it up with my cut, and it's back on my block exactly where it should be. Oh, I should really use two hands if I'm actually going to try and do that. So you kind of come in here, you line up your cut, put it back down. Nobody can see the crack on there, and you'll be able to stamp it just like it was one stamp again. So not a big deal. I do this to my stamps a fair amount. Some people think it's horrible that I cut up my stamps, but whatever. I think it's practical. It gets more use out of them. All right, so now I'm going to grab my Lemon Lime Twist ink, and I'm going to take my happy birthday sentiment. Let's actually put that down and put that over there. No, I need to move some things. Sorry. My desk is feeling a little crowded this morning. I'm not sure why. All right, I'm going to take my happy birthday, ink it up, and I'm going to start my first happy birthday where the whole happy birthday will get seen on my card. And from this point on, we are going to stagger it. Oh, do I have my chamois on my table? I just realized I got ink all over my desk. I don't have my chamois, but there we go. I have a paper towel. I'll use a paper towel. I just don't want to drag my card through that ink. So I'll make sure to clean it up as we go. That time I was good. I didn't get any on. All right. And so basically, we're just going to go down our whole card doing this staggered happy birthday background. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're covering up a bunch of it. And so it's going to be fine if it's not perfectly straight or perfectly anything. And I'm just going to take a moment to clean up my desk because I see a lot of ink on here. So I could always put down a piece of scrap paper and then I wouldn't have to clean the glass mat. But that's not what I'm doing today. It's what I do often. All right, a few more. And so I always kind of come in and put the happy birthday lined up between the other happy birthdays and then stamp out from there. I just find that's an easier way to actually line everything up. All right, so one more clean of the desk. This glass mat does come with a chamois that cleans it up really nicely, but I don't know where my chamois is right now, so we're not using it. All right. So Tanya, if you're still watching, do you do Stampin' Up? Do you know about Stampin' Up? All right. Now, before I put away my lemon lime twist, I'm also going to grab a piece of white. I keep these pre-cut at 4 by 5 1/4. They fit perfectly on the inside of a card. Although I'm looking at that, that might not actually be one of my pre-cuts. That might be a scrap I grabbed to stamp on. So that doesn't look like it fits properly. I'm going to go grab one from my shelf. Oh yeah, there we go. That's better. So I always keep these pre-cut to go on the inside. Use only Stampin' Up! Awesome. I'm the same way. I'm a little bit obsessed. All right, I'm going to take my lemon lime twist, my little like starbursty thing here, and I'm going to stamp a few on the inside of my card and on an envelope. I like to decorate my envelopes as I go, and this is kind of the only card today that has good card decorating that's quick and easy stamping. So I'm going to put that to the side now. And I'm going to grab my Coastal Cabana. So I'm just going to give that little starburst a little clean. Obsessed with card making. So am I. I've been doing it for a while, but I think my obsession actually, I don't know if it's possible, has grown in the last few years. I do some scrapbooking as well, but not usually like on video or anything, just personally in my craft room. But card making is definitely my thing. All right, so I just did a little quick Coastal Cabana. I'm going to use my liquid glue to glue this down to the inside of my card. Now I keep most of my cards blank. I find people prefer that and to be able to write their own things. But if I am giving it to somebody particular, I will often stamp something on the inside because then there's less space for me to have to come up with my own thing to write. And this set has some funny things to stamp with this. There's, especially with this little doggy, there's the you're how old in dog years you'd be, or at least you're not as old as you'll be next year. Love that one. But this one I'm going to leave blank. All right, so we've got our happy birthday and everything all done here. I've got my little banner, and I'm going to take a piece of balmy blue twine. You could use anything you want, any ribbon, anything at all. And I'm going to wrap this around twice. Oh, that's going to use up my twine. Perfect. I've been on a mission to use up this twine because I used up a ton of my pink, but I still have a ton of blue and yellow left in this 3-pack. So I've been trying. There we go. All right. So I've just tied a cute little bow here on the side in my balmy blue. And I'm just going to trim up the ends now. There we go. So grab my snips here and snip and snip. There we go. All right. So with that done, I am actually going to take this and attach it to my card front with dimensionals, which I have. There we go. All right. Pop that down. That. I like to use 4 on a label this size. You could do 1 more in the center, but I don't find that it really needs it. This one's a little tiny. All right. And flip that over. Now, when I look at my card sketch, they kind of have that centered. Card sketches are great, though, because you can change them up. So put it higher, put it lower, do whatever you want with it. I am going to, as best as I can, try to center it. I say as best as I can because centering things is not my forte. The number of times I've taken apart a card because I look at it, I'm like, whoa, that is crooked. All right. Now, I'm going to grab just a scrap of basic white, some Memento black, and I'm going to stamp this adorable little dog. There we go. Oh my gosh, you know what? Got extra paper there. I'm just going to stamp 2, so I have one for later just to color and cut. All right. That's something that I do a lot. I find it helps my crafting later is if I have extra paper and stuff, I will just stamp extras. And then I've got things on hand. It makes card making so quick and easy because you've got like ready-made things. Now, I don't have Coastal Cabana blends, so I am actually going to grab Summer Splash. It's very, very close. And then I love this little dog in Crumb Cake. You know what? I've done them in Crumb Cake so much, so let's do them in Gray. Let's see what happens if we do Smoky Slate. It'll be a different look for me. All right. So let's start with his tongue. I love to do his little tongue in Bubble Bath. I'm only going to color one of him right now. Don't worry. And then I take the dark bubble bath and highlight the center of his tongue. And, oh, I forgot to grab my basic black. So I do use basic black a lot with him, but just the light one. The dark one is so incredibly dark. But the light basic black allows your stamped image still to show through a little bit. All right, now we're going to do his hat. Now, he's going to go onto this banner, so I think I want his pom-pom to be our lemon lime twist so that it kind of stands out on the background. So I'm going to come in with the light lemon lime twist and then with the dark lemon lime twist. There we go. And then actually I can go ahead and color 2 of our stripes. I'm so tempted to bring in a third color here on his hat and bring in like an orange or a pink, but I am going to resist. I'm going to keep this just 2 colors with our little pink highlight. All right, now I colored that other stripe light Summer Splash, but I'm going to come back in. You don't have to do this. It doesn't make a giant difference. And just do a tiny little line or dot on that one edge just to make it a little bit darker. It's really not essential. All right, now we're going to take our dark smoky slate. This is my first time coloring him gray. I always do him in crumb cake. All right, and I'm going to do dark lines with our dark smoky slate. And come in and do all of his little highlight areas, his little tail. Oh, she's so cute. And then I'm going to take my light smoky slate and go over his little toes and go around his eye. Don't go into his eye. We don't want to mess with the whites of his eyes. All right, there we go. And he's done. He's so cute. I love him. All right, now we just need to cut him out and attach him to our card. So let's come on in here. And I am just going to give him the tiniest border. Like, I don't even know if that's an 1/8 of an inch. Just tiny, tiny, tiny border. And around his ear. And I'm just going to snip off that extra dog. Put him to the side. There we go. I always try and have like easy crafting stuff like that, like to color and cut the dog and all that in the evenings when I'm watching TV with the kids. Because they get so mad at me when I fall asleep during shows, and I will fall asleep during a show if I'm not doing something. Last night we were watching Invincible, and my son said to me, we can't watch the next 2 episodes because you have to be sitting up. It has to be daylight when we watch them because you can't be busy doing anything. You got to watch everything, and you can't be falling asleep. So he knows. All right. And come in here, around the little bottom there. All right. Just about done the fussy cutting here. He's pretty quick and easy to fussy cut. We've cut a lot of him. There we go. All right. So with that done, we are just going to pop him up on our card. We'll make sure those ribbons go behind him. So I'm just going to put a dimensional at the top and the bottom. And there we go. And there we go. That way it doesn't go over top of our twine. I don't like it when it does that because then you get lumpies. And I'm not a fan. All right. So just like that. And Then we're going to put some, oh, sorry, I just bumped my camera. I'm going to put some gems on here. Now, my other two cards are using the antique pearls. And I actually think I might stick with that for this as well, but show you that we can color these, and then also let you in on a little secret in our new catalog that's coming in May. They've got colored flat pearls. I am so excited because yes, you can color your pearls. And yes, I'm about to, but like, I don't really love having to do that. So I am actually going to color these with, yeah, I am going to bring in some fun colors. Sorry guys, I said I wasn't, but I am. I'm going to color these in Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, and Summer Splash. And we color them first and then attach them. So I'm just going to grab a few others here. I've got just like some loose ones. So I think I would like 2 Petunia Pops. So I'm just going to color that. I should have maybe done this at the beginning, but actually maybe I'll color them with my dark. Just going to get really vibrant. Okay, so we're going to color those and let them dry. I'm going to color 2 Peach Pies. Now there are 3 different sizes of these. Here we go. Well, I don't know if the peach pie is going to show up on this card. Oh, I guess it will if I put it onto the blue. That'll work. And then I'm going to do 2 Summer Splash. There we go. Okay. So it's quick and easy. You color these with the blends. Let them sit to dry a little bit, and then you're good to go. And I'm going to do one more Petunia Pop. I think I really like that Petunia Pop. Okay. All right. So now the only kind of trick to this is when you're picking them up, don't use your finger because you're going to get it into that ink that's on the plastic backing and get your hands inky, and that's no good. All right, so we're going to pick these up and let them run away on us. Yikes. And I'm going to pop them on here. I'm not pushing them down yet because I'm not totally sure about where I want them yet. I know I want them kind of scattered along my card. There. And we're going to kind of make a diagonal across our card with these. And right there. And maybe one there. And down here. No, I might not end up using that one. We'll see. Okay, let's pull this guy off. All right, definitely he's going to come down here. And he's going to go right there. All right. So maybe we'll do that as a 3. So there's a 3. These guys need to be reorganized a bit. All right. And this is why I don't glue them down just yet, because I don't want to have to peel them off to put them back on. All right. Now, maybe no, we'll go up there with that guy. All right. And so just a little sprinkling all the way down our card. So actually, I don't know if we need him up there. Might bring him to that corner. No, actually, let's keep the red up in the corner and bring the red down as well. Like that. All right, and so we just have a really fun sprinkling. That feels like too many. I'm going to take that one off. All right. So we have a fun sprinkling of dots down along our card, and let's move these in, move this in. There we go. All right, let's make it more sprinkly looking. I'm glad these aren't, oh, that one is stuck down. Okay, that one's going to stay where it is because the adhesive is stuck to our card. Okay, so that guy's stuck, but this guy can move. So we're going to make these really sprinkly just all the way down the card. And then, so I don't get ink all over my fingers, I'm just going to use a paper towel to push those down. They are pretty dry, but just worried about the moisture on my hand. All right, so there is our cute, fun little card. Now I wonder, just one more? No, that's too much. I was right. Okay, there we go. All right, so that is our first card with this layout done. So quite shiny and fun and really, really simple. Now, our next two take a totally different approach. Our next card is actually insanely quick. Oh, I'm just going to move these blends out of the way. Because we don't even really do any stamping, we're going to use the, let's just move this out of the way so I can bring it in. We're going to use the Timeless Plaid here and the Storybook Moments 12 by 12. So it's a whole bunch of beautiful designer series paper, but then all of these really fun punch outs. You get 2 pages of punch outs in this paper. And so we're going to use a couple of little punch outs from that paper. So that is the card that we're going to create today. It is super quick and simple, and just so much fun with Easter coming. And again, I'm using more of that trio pack of twine. So this time I'm using the yellow, the lemon lolly, and we've just got a plain inside. We could do more decorating inside if we wanted. All right, so to do this card, very, very quick, we're going to grab our Lost Lagoon base, our liquid glue, and we're going to start by attaching our plaid to the front and our piece of basic white to the inside of this card. So just come along. So instead of stamping our background, we're just going to put some DSP on it, and voila, really quick and easy. All right, then I'm going to come along and put our basic white on the inside. And again, you could stamp something in here if you wanted, a sentiment or a little decoration or something, but we're not going to for today. Now our banner, I didn't get this one cut out, so we'll just run it through quickly together. Our banner, I'm actually going to cut out of basic beige. I just felt like white was a little too white, stood out just a little too much. So we're going to use basic beige and keep it quite soft and neutral here. So bring in our little mini machine. I love the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Now, when you do this one, I do recommend doing points first. That way you're not going over a big old speed bump as you run it through. Makes it a lot easier to die cut. All right, there we go. And just like that, we have our banner cut. So put that over there. All right. And again, that was the Nested Essentials. So this little guy we're not going to put down just yet. We're going to start by tying a piece of lemon lolly around here. So I'm going to hold the ribbon off to the side. I'm going to wrap it twice. Leave a little trail so that I can have something to tie with and snip that. All right, so that's our lemon lolly. And then I'm just going to take this end, tuck it under, and make a knot before I make my bow. By making a knot, then I don't have to worry about holding ribbon tight or anything while I'm doing my bow. I can just focus on making my bunny ears and wrapping them. And there we go. All right, just like that. And trim up the ends here. Okay, so with that part done, I can actually attach this to my card front now with dimensionals. Now I gotta move this coffee cup out of the way before I spill it. There we go. All right, so just like before, I'm just going to do 4 dimensionals on here, and we're going to place it pretty much in the center of our card. Okay. So this one's a lot easier to line up because there are lines on the plaid that really help. All right, so that's done. Now I'm going to take my little goose and gosling. I hope this is a gosling and not a duck. And you can see how they kind of just nestle together so that the edge of his head and the front of her belly kind of come together, and their feet are at the same height, like they're standing together. So I'm going to put a mini glue dot on the back of his head. And we have our mini glue dots in rolls, or I'm just using up some extras from my paper pumpkin kit yesterday. There we go. And so just connect those like that. And then I'm going to flip this over and put dimensionals just at the tops and bottoms, because I don't want to interfere with the twine. Okay. Peel those off. And when I put these guys down, I'm going to put them just off to the side because I don't want, I want the ribbon to stay put. So put them off to the side like that. And I guess I could have moved the ribbon over a bit. Oh well, it's fine. It's all good. So we've got them on our card front now. Now I just need to add my sentiment. So I've just got a big piece of scrap here. Now I'd used early espresso, but I actually want to use pebbled path. And you can do any sentiment you want here. I'm going to do an Easter greeting. Easter's coming up. And so I'm going to start just by stamping this kind of near the top. I looked around for dies. It was funny. I actually did find eventually a die that would probably work in my beautiful butterflies. But by then I'd already decided that I'm just going to stamp this like this and then trim it pretty close to the bottom of that greetings. Okay. Oops. I should probably take that with me. And with that trimmed nice and close on top and bottom, I'm then just going to take my paper snips and snip a diagonal and another diagonal. Every die that I found either came too close to the edge of the words or left too much space around the words, and I really didn't want them to be like overpowering on the card. And then I'm going to come in here and just put a couple of mini glue dots on the back of this. And we're going to tuck this onto our card so that the words stay visible, and so does our stitching at the top. That's kind of a key for me. And then it looks like I've got space here to tuck a dimensional under just to keep it all popped up and sturdy. So I'm just going to come underneath like that. Oops, try not to crease it when you do it. There we go. All right, so we're almost done this one. I'm just going to add our embellishments now. And so just like our last card, I am going to use my antique pearls, but this time I'm not going to like color them or anything. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and one, actually no, not a big one there. We'll do a big one up here. We'll do 1, 2, and a medium-sized one down here. All right, and we've just added some quick little antique pearls to our card. All right, so just a sweet, quick card. Those pop-outs are great. You could do this card with the bunny rabbits and like the cool little gardening guys. And the Easter greetings sentiment that I used came from the Storybook Friends stamp set that coordinates with the 2 DSPs that I used. So you could also stamp and color images if you wanted. But I love it because we've got the Happy Spring. If you use one of the bunnies, somebody loves you, welcome little one. So lots of really nice sentiments, or even just a hello friend to put on this card. So yeah, it's a really, really nice set of paper to use. All right, so that is card number 2. And where did I put my first cards? Oh, there we go. All right, our last card, I love this one so much, is a little bit of stamping, but it's so quick and easy, actually. This stamping kind of has that watercolory look to it with none of the burden of watercoloring. So instead of using a piece of designer series paper in the background, that background's actually stamped. So I'll show you how we did that. It is the new online exclusive painted stripes background stamp. Sorry, I buried. So I am using my old, I think they call it a Stamparatus. We unfortunately don't sell this anymore, but a Misty or anything like that would work. I do highly recommend some kind of tool for your background stamps. Although we have the big blocks, it is a lot harder to stamp with them. This tool just makes it so easy. So I've stamped with this a few times, so you can already see my image here. I've got my boho blue. So this is an in color that is retiring. Oh, hi, Wendy from Winnipeg. Awesome. So many Canadians today. So nice to see. You're halfway across our country. Lovely. All right. I hope your weather is better than ours. But today's not as bad. I'm just getting tired of the cold and rain. I want some sunshine. It's spring break after all. All right, so I'm just taking my boho blue and inking this up. So this is a retiring in color. It's this and Pebbled Path are the 2 in colors I'm going to miss the most. Although yesterday during my paper pumpkin video, I found a love for wild wheat as a bumblebee color. So we'll see. I might miss that one too. So I'm going to take just a normal like 4 by 5 1/4. I have already stamped on here so I can see where it's going to stamp. That allows me to line up my paper inside all the ink. All right, and then I'm going to push this down. And somewhere in my craft room, I do have like a fancy dancy tool, but I think it's packed up in a kit box right now. I have a card class coming up this Saturday. Oh, I know. The colors that are retiring are really nice. And I was a little bit surprised because they do normally kind of do softer colors and then brighter colors back and forth. And this time I feel like they kind of stuck with some really bright colors again. So we'll see what happens. It always takes a while to like the new colors. Although I'm so happy for Strawberry Slush to come back. All right, now that I have that done, I am going to grab a boho blue base. Oh no, I just got ink all over my other papers. Oh, we can use the other side. All right, so I'm going to grab a boho blue card base, and we're going to glue that right down to our card base, and voila, the front of our card is done. So you can see how easy that is. It looks like you've done amazing watercoloring when all you did was put a stamp to paper. And I used this one last week with my regular card class, and they were all so excited. They're like, it was so easy. So it's nice. All right, now we've got that, and then I'm also going to glue a piece of basic white just to the inside of this card. I like to do that even when it is a lighter color, just because it makes the inside of the card look finished, and it adds a little bit of weight to the card so it stands up a bit nicer. All right. So Wendy, the fact that you're sad about the retiring colors tells me that you're also familiar with Stampin' Up. That's awesome. All right. So with that done, I now have this sweet little banner, and I'm going to be using the Delightful Wishes. Oh no. Sorry, I'm going to have to do a little cleanup right here, right now, because somehow I have got ink on the wrong side of everything, getting Flirty Flamingo on all my things, all my papers, on my stamp case. So if you didn't know this about your chamois, you can actually pick it up and just use it like it's a kitchen cloth. You can use it to clean pretty much anything. Love it. All right, so that's all cleaned up. So I am using the Delightful Wishes bundle. This is one that I used a while back for a stamp camp, and I'm still absolutely obsessed with this set. I'm not always a big florals fan, but the girls I do my stamp camps with were like, no, we have to. So I did, and I am so glad I listened to them. All right, I have got my boho blue again, and I'm going to stamp happy birthday on my banner. So the sentiment actually says you a happy birthday because it goes with the wishing. So what I'm going to do is when I flip this over, I'm only going to ink the happy birthday part. I'm not going to ink the UA. If I accidentally get some ink on there, just grab your chamois and wipe it off and go again. So now this just fits side to side. So really look at it before you push down. Make sure your H and your Y are both on the tag because it like just fits. So that is stamped. I can put my boho blue away now. Over there. Okay. And now we're going to create like a little floral arrangement for this. And I'm going to put some Flirty Flamingo on here as my twine. So I've used all 3 colors from that twine pack. So pleased with myself. So we're going to wrap this around twice, just like we did the other ones. Give it a little trim. So I've used twine on all 3 because this was a 3-pack of twine and I wanted to use all 3 colors. But you could use any ribbon to do this bow on here. Okay, so tie your knot. And no matter what ribbon you're using, tie a knot first. It always makes it easier. Okay. If you have, what I really wanted to do was work with that Fresh Freesia seam binding from the Celebration, but I don't think I have any left. It was kind of my favorite, the color and just any seam binding. I love working with seam binding. It ties so nicely. All right, so I've got my little Flirty Flamingo bow there. And now I'm going to go ahead and create some florals to go on this card. So I'm going to put that off to the side, grab a piece of basic white. So this is just like a little scrap here. And I'm going to stamp 2 or 3 leaves, maybe just 2, in Granny Apple Green. All right, so I've got those stamped. And then this is a 2-step stamping. Sorry, put my lemon lime back in the right spot. There we go. This is a 2-step stamping. So I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to start with kind of the line drawing of our flowers. And I'm going to stamp 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's only 3, 4, and 5. There we go. So I've just stamped 5 flowers on there. Now I am going to grab a piece of scrap paper for this because I'm going to be doing some stamping off. All right, so I am going to ink up my flower, stamp it off, and then stamp it on. Now, this is always, the first time is always challenging. And then once you've got it, you've got it. You could try this on a scrap paper to make sure. You've just got to figure out how to line it up. There's one flower that kind of is bigger than the others. So, or one petal that's bigger than the other. So I always use that to do my lining up. But do remember to stamp off because otherwise this gets to be a really dark flower and you don't see those lines as well when you're doing the color on color. If you're using 2 different colors, that's fine, but because I'm using Flirty Flamingo with Flirty Flamingo, you really do need to stamp off. All right. So we've got that all done. And now we just need to die cut these. Yes, there is a die cut. Thank goodness. I would not want to have to fussy cut all of this. All right, so we'll grab our machine again and grab our dies. So I've got the leaves and the flower. Now the flower die, just like when you're doing the 2-step stamping, just look for that bigger petal and use that for cutting. So there we go. Lines up pretty quick and easy once you can identify which one is the bigger petal. Okay. And then we're going to have to run this through a few times. Sorry, guys. If I had been a little more prepared, I would have these pre-cut, or at least some of them pre-cut. But it's spring break, so my evenings are not what they normally are. My days are not what they normally are. And I've got 2 kids in the house who are learning to drive. So it's double duty going out driving with them because, of course, I have to drive with one and then I have to drive with the other. And yeah, I just got a new car and I haven't even really driven it because they've been driving it. Maybe today I'll get my chance. All right, now we don't need the leaf anymore, but I do need my flower. All right. Oh, hi, Gail. Thanks for joining. We're just working on one of our 1 layout 3 cards, and I'm using the Delightful Wishes stamp set. So I just stamped some Flirty Flamingo on Flirty Flamingo flowers, and we're cutting them out. How are you doing today? All right, 2 more flowers, and then we are ready to put this card together. Sorry, guys. Sometimes beauty takes time. All right. Okay. And stay there. All right, last one. Some die sets, they give you multiples of the flowers, but on this one, they did not. They give you a lot of dies in this set, though, so I can't complain. All right. There we go. And our last one is cut out. Fantastic. All right. So let's bring all of our card pieces back again. So we've got our painted stripes background that we created, our Nested Essentials banner, and I feel like we could actually attach that, and that I should use my bone folder to close this card properly. There we go. All right. So let's put that on there. Now we've got our flowers and we just get to start playing with them and deciding, do we want them going over our twine, under our twine? How do we want this happening? I think I want to train that so it falls down. Oh, but then it'll cover our happy birthday. Maybe we'll trim it a bit. All right. So we've got lots and lots of flowers here. We can use all of them. We can use some of them. It's going to be completely up to us how we put together our card. So I think we're going to do flower there, flower there, flower there. Maybe I won't use 5 this time. And then some leaves and some more leaves. Oh, I don't like the leaves all up top. We'll put some leaves down below, maybe. All right, so maybe we'll just use 3 flowers this time instead of 5. I used 5 on the original, but then, no, you know what, we're gonna use 3 and then we'll put some gems and stuff in. So let's trim this up a bit more even, there we go. That sits nicer. All right, we're gonna put our flowers on with mini dimensionals and or dimensionals because I don't see my minis, and our leaves are going to go on with mini glue dots. So I'm actually going to start with my flowers and then tuck the leaves under after the fact. Okay, so oops, out of the way there. All right, so I'm going to start with my first flower over here, just a little bit over top of my twine. Then my second flower is going to go on just beside it and up a little bit. And my third flower is going to go up above those. Just like that. Awesome. Now we'll grab some mini glue dots. And I don't know where my take your pick. Oh, there it is. I like to use a take your pick tool when I'm using these flat ones. And I'm just going to pop that on there. And one on there. There we go. And then one leaf there. And we're going to do one leaf down on the other side over here. Okay, so the trick here is just don't let it cover your words. All right, so with that done, we're going to attach this to our card front now, again with dimensionals. So kind of same thing for all 3 cards. It is the same layout after all. And pop that on. And again, this card has lines on it, which means it's a little bit easier to line this up and get it straight and stuff like that, because I like that. I like that. All right, just like that. And now we're going to add some gems to this. So I am going to put the antique pearls on here again, just like I did on our last one. Just slightly different positionings for them now. All right. And actually, I'm not sure I like those all the way down there. Oh, and I already pushed them down. All right, well then, I don't think I can peel these off now. Maybe, yeah, oh, there we go. Okay. No, that one doesn't, there we go, got it. All right, yeah, just bring that up a little bit. Keep it more centered. All right, and that is our third card for our 1 layout 3 cards design. So you can see the difference here. Oh, I didn't even put gems on this one either. All right, that's interesting. So let's throw a few onto this one. This one, I'm not sure where to put gems on this. Let's see, maybe right there, and right there. All right. So 3, 5, I think I like the 3 better. It's just a little less busy. So that is our last card, our second card, and our very bright first card. There we go. So one layout, 3 cards, you can see how the background we do makes a big difference in kind of how the card looks and whether we stamp onto our banner or stamp beside our banner or just do nothing with it, make it all sparkly. You can really kind of play around with this, but this layout makes it really easy to have a starting point for designing. So you could do a banner with your sentiment and then have a really busy background, all sorts of things. So yeah, again, one layout, 3 cards. I love these. I am a big fan of using card sketches to design, and then you can play around with them, change them up. I mean, we could have even taken this little guy, turned it sideways, turned our dog the other way, and it's the same layout, just a different orientation. So we could have done something like that as well. There's so much you can do with a card layout. So thank you very much for joining. If you want any of the products you've seen today, you can of course contact me or go online and place an order. I do have a host code and a fantastic 34 card tutorial that I'm sending out as a thank you for orders over $65. So thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you join me again next Wednesday for my regular Facebook Live. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube, because Facebook is only keeping videos for about 14 days now, I think it is. And so it's not a great place to find my video content anymore. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel or go to my blog, stampinwithleah.ca. And I always link my YouTube videos into my blog posts there. And then you can get full supply lists and sometimes instructions for how to make the different cards and stuff like that. So it's a really good resource for any stampers. Yeah. All right, everybody, have a great day.